Hello guys, we're back with the Wings Mobile Detailing Podcast with Arsalan Karimi.
It's good to be back, man. It's been a long time.
It has been a long time. I feel like every time we get together to do a podcast,
It's been a long time.
it's always a long
It's
time.
been a few weeks at least, yeah.
And today we're talking about taking advice from people who love you, which we're calling them haters, but a different type of haters.
These are the good haters.
The good haters.
The
which is
caring
not,
haters, yeah.
Which is not good for you,
Right, yeah.
to take advice necessary from these people.
Yeah, 100%.
So stay with the introduction and we're gonna get right back.
Welcome to the Wings Mobile Detailing Business and Automotive Podcast, the only podcast that will guide you on how to start and grow six-figure companies. As our team expand from one business location to worldwide domination, you will get step-by-step insights from a millennial franchisor and franchise owner with your host, Mezalira.
Yeah, taking advice from people who love you. It's kind of a fine line to what you can listen to those people and what you cannot. Take, advice, or they try to help you.
Yeah.
A lot of parents, for example, they do that in a college where, especially in the college environment, we're in a transition phase right now in the past few years that high school diploma wasn't as valuable. College diploma wasn't as valuable as it used to be 10 years, 15 years ago, and the time that it was for our parents.
Right.
And that can be one of the advices that parents can give you, to bring you to safety. Have a secure job, have a secure diploma, have something secure to bring you to safety because they care about you. They're not hating on you because necessarily they don't think you're going to be able to do it, but they hate on you in this way because they want to bring you to safety. They want you to be all right, safe, secure.
Yeah.
Security doesn't bring growth necessarily.
A lot of times it doesn't, yeah. It's almost every time it doesn't. Security is just, it's secure, but it's not supposed to be growth, fast growth. It's supposed to be very safe. But taking advice is a skill, I feel like, in a way. You have to know who you're taking advice from and what are you taking everything in, or are you taking just parts of that resonate with you in. It's definitely a skill that you have to work on, but I think when it comes to taking advice, you have to know that everyone has their own perspective on life, so everyone has their own biases towards life, and they try to, based on their own biases, they try to give you advice. So for example, like Andre said, our about have always told us to, I'm sure about your parents, but my parents have always been about, you go to school, get your degree, work until 65 and retire, because that's what they've known. That's what the people before them knew. But it's because the world is changing, you can't always listen to the people who are wiser or older, because their advice comes from their life experiences, and that can have a lot of times a negative impact. So they can kind of stop you from going towards your dreams because they want you to play it safe. Yeah.
And a lot of people can conceive this as something negative. They don't come with a bad intentions towards you.
Yeah.
They come because they love you and they want the best for you, and they don't want you to go out and anything wrong happening with you. And when you take risks, the controlled risks that you're supposed to take, I'm not just talking about starting a new business. I'm not just talking about whatever endeavor you want to go for.
Yeah.
It's controlled risk, but you still have a risk of failure.
Yeah.
And because they love you, they kind of want to tell you good things. Go for a diploma, something that you don't necessarily want to do. But you're getting this advice from all people who loves you, and the reason this is the worst type of quote-unquote hater is because because they love you. Because if somebody who doesn't like you and they come to you and tell you, "Oh, do this, it's more secure. Do this, that you're gonna have, in my eyes, a better growth," or if somebody hates you and they tell you, "Oh, do this because that thing that you're doing is not gonna work out."
Yeah.
That's good, because then you're gonna do it. Not to prove them wrong, with that type of talk. But if people who loves you, your parents, and they can say it in a way, whoever it is in our family, this is the reason it's the worst type of hate, because people listen more to this type of hate, and it can affect their lives. It's a good way.
Especially because it comes from like care, it comes from like love, it comes from them thinking about your well-being. So they're giving you advice based on that. They want to see you happy, so they're giving you advice based on that. But they don't know what's inside you. They don't know exactly what you're going for, what your dreams are. So that's why it's like kind of off-putting. Like the advice they give you, it comes from heart. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it's not a lot of times good for you. Yeah. So like we've learned to like listen to people whose life we want, who've had that experience, and sort of drown out the advice that come from people who haven't done what we want to do. They might have succeeded in other parts of life, but they haven't succeeded in what we want to succeed in. So it's like important to know who's the advice coming from, and and if your parents, for example, and it's not just my parents, everyone's parents, even my friends, why are you starting a business? You have a degree and things like that. It's because even if they know it's secure, a lot of times it's not just about security, it's about hardship. It's about, they know that it's going to succeed, but it's going to take every ounce of your energy. Yeah. And they don't want to not see you ever. They don't want to or see you suffering. Yeah. Like not sleeping, working all the time. They don't want that, even though they see that you're growing in life. A lot of times they don't want to see that. So they try to kind of give you advice in a way that'll deter you a little bit away from that, and that's not good for your growth, not for your future. That's
exactly it, bro. Like, suffering is what they don't want to see you go through. Exactly, they don't want to go see you through suffering. They want you to, and sometimes they give you advice based on the things that they didn't do. Yeah. Our parents, my parents, I'm talking about, let's say my parents, for example. And they want you to do that, to go through a more safe and sound. It used to be like that. It's not like that quite anymore. But they don't want to see you suffer. But the problem is that suffering is what makes people great. Exactly. Yeah. Going through a lot of setbacks is what makes a company grow. Right. Not only whatever it is, you're growing in life.
It's being different. It's being uncomfortable. It's like that's what sets you apart.
Putting yourself in uncomfortable places, and parents they kind of want to bring you to comfort. Being comfortable. Yeah. That's why there's the saying. Yeah. Exactly.
They want you to be happy. And they think being comfortable makes you happy, but I think their understanding is a little bit wrong, because in order for you to be happy long term, you have to go through a long period of growth, like to get to like where you want to be. So,
and being comfortable is what people has to run to. And I think that's where it comes this saying, like you said, that we got from the "take it easy" quote. Life is to be lived. Yeah. Normally, the people who get to saying these things, I think I want more comfort. I think I want to take my life into more easier, have more comfort, have more freedom. Why? Because they've gone through so many hardships in life, so many setbacks, that some people, they don't get through these setbacks. And when that happens a lot, they start to think in their mind that the right thing that they have to do is retrieve, go to comfort, get a nice 9-to-5 job, or start seeing things in a different perspective that they didn't believe it before. With me personally, it was different. Before I don't know if I ever got to a point where I want a comfortable job, a comfortable life, just a normal, and when I say average, I don't mean bad way, a normal life, but I always watch out myself so I don't get to the point where no hardships are going to come, and good things as well. But I want to get myself into that state of mind, to where I want to kind of make an excuse that I need comfort, that I need there's no such thing as a worry-free life either.
There isn't, no. And I feel like any book that you read about, if you're someone who's stressed, or has anxiety and things like that, and I feel like a lot of the books that you read they mention things about life is just supposed to, life is not easy for anyone. It's supposed to be difficult and things like that. So no, I guess it's just understanding how much I guess work you're willing to put up with, and then you going for it, rather than listening to different types of advice that can, whatever is in your mind, whatever you think will make you happy will probably make you happy as long as you start going for it. Yeah, it's like you don't really need too much outside opinions coming in. The ones that the only ones that you kind of need are the ones that actually are living the life that you want. So
100%.
And it's really difficult to like tell the people around you to not give you advice because they care for you, and you can't tell them not to care for you.
Yeah.
But it's like, and it comes from that. Like if you really care for someone, you want to tell them things. Like you want to. Yeah. It's like the more they like you, almost. It's like the more they give you advice. So
and we have to perceive that as a positive thing.
Yeah.
Like filter that out.
Exactly. Yeah. You can't just rely on it completely because it comes from a good heart.
It's hard to filter that out though when
someone close to you,
they love you, because you listen more. You kind of like,
they might have experience.
Is it right? Like maybe he's right. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Maybe I should be. But your gut feeling is telling you something else, and you know what your gut feeling is telling you.
But it just instills a little bit of doubt inside you. It's like, maybe I shouldn't do this.
Exactly.
Yeah, maybe they're right. I don't know. They're 20 years older than me. Well, I should probably listen to them. But are they living your life? Are they living your dream life? So
following those mentors who are actually achieved what you want, whatever it is, family, finance, whatever it is, look for mentors and try to really filter out, but gotta work hard for it, gotta study for it. You not only have to follow those mentors that got what you want, but also in a way do what they did. What did they do? Not exactly the business they did, but knowing the work that they put in to acquire what they want. So studying, reading about it, not stopping. One of them is not take advice from people who love you, or people who quit in the process, which are those people who start to go into the comfortable life and the easy route, which is not existent. It doesn't exist. There's no easy route.
Right, there isn't. Yeah, and another thing I feel like to keep in mind is like, you have people who kind of, their advice sort of deters you from where you want to go. Then there's people whose advice is just so positive that it just makes everything seem like it's going to be easy, a walk in the park for you.
There's
just like, you got it. Go ahead and do it. Yeah, and like in a year, you're going to be, making $17 million a year and stuff like that. Is this still going? Is it okay?
People who...
Yeah, there's people who, their way of showing support is, you got it. You can do whatever you set your mind to. Just aim for the moon, and you'll get there in 3 months. And it's like, that can also be a little bit, because it can be negative because it's putting something in your mind that's not realistic. And
fantasy world.
Yeah, and it's like,
those people.
So your level of effort drops because I can do it in 3 months. It's not realistic.
That's what I like about us, bro. Because we're actually together in the business. He owns a different location. Yeah. But the way we talk about it, and you want to have people around you who is controlled like that, who is not, overly excited. Do this and it's going to work. Now do this, it's going to work. Now do that, it's going to work.
And every person's different. Like, people take advice differently. So sometimes someone needs extra positivity. Someone sometimes needs extra criticism. So like, you have to
realism.
Yeah, exactly. You have to like kind of know who you're talking to as well. You have to know yourself. That's why I said in the beginning, taking advice is a skill. Like, you have to know yourself, what works for you to motivate yourself, and then filter that out and try to learn from the people who you look up to rather than people around you who just love you.
And I think that to take advice from people who, for you to know what you want in a way, let's say some people don't know what they want, don't know if their advice is actually truth. Normally, if the advice takes you towards comfort, towards security, 100% security, normally that's not the advice you don't want to take. Yeah. But sometimes you may not know, and I think that's my personal experience. Where's my phone? Where's my microphone? Is it working? Okay. My personal experience is that I realize kind of what I want and what works, what type of work it takes for me to get to where I want to be, is studying. Yeah. Studying. I know what it takes, studying from big people, because if you don't study, if you don't follow somebody, study from somebody who achieved what you want. you're not going to know what you have to do to get over there. You're not going to know the obstacles that you have to go through to get over there. And if you don't know the obstacles, then it's very easy for you to listen to somebody who is giving any type of advice. It's not supposed to be this way. You're 5 years in business, and in 5 years, a lot of setback happens. You have to work your ass off. Always in business, you have to work because it pays back the amount that you put into work and effort too. But if you're 5 years and a lot of setbacks are happening, and then you see on social media, if you follow the wrong people, if you see on social media those people with glamorous life, multiple cars, big, and you're 5 years in business, nothing much, you're super far away from them still, you're gonna think, okay, this is not normal.
Yeah.
Maybe I should quit. Maybe they are right. Maybe I gotta take the advice from them because it's not how it's supposed to be this hard because it's not taking me somewhere. And those are the people you also don't want to look out for.
Yeah.
That shows only the fake and not the process, because the process is hard work, cutting drums of bread. What's the saying?
Follow the crumbs of bread.
Yeah.
Something like that. To the actual bread.
Planting, and you're gonna harvest later. Small pieces at a time.
One easy way I feel like before we wrap up, one easy way to filter things out is just to gain as much knowledge for it as possible. If you know a lot about a business, if you know a lot about any matter, then it's easier to understand that this advice is bullshit. He's talking, I'm not gonna listen.
Exactly.
Or this advice is too unrealistic. He's talking, it's just, the more and the less you know, it's just, every advice is new to you, and so you have all this
take
stuff.
everything.
You take everything in, and it's just a mix of match, just regular. Everything's just become regular.
For you to filter out stuff, you have to know stuff first.
What to filter out.
What's
bullshit. Yeah, I know this is for a fact wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think taking advice is definitely a skill. I feel like you have to be conscious of who's talking, what are they saying, what do I know.
And again, you never know everything, but when you start to learn, then you realize that you know what you know. Yeah. And you realize that you don't know a lot. So what I'm trying to say is it's one of those microfiber towels, right? So if you start reading a lot, you don't want to think to yourself, oh, you know everything, and get too stubborn to the point where you don't listen to anything and you do your thing and you stop reading. That's the worst type of people who are not humble. They stop reading because they think they know, because they think they can only learn from their experience. Yeah. And then the only way they're going to learn is pitfalls after pitfalls. Yeah. And a lot of pitfalls can be avoided, and you can lead more of a secure and comfortable life in a way with less problems the more you read. The more you read, the more you learn from other people, the more mistakes you avoid. And we personally have avoided a couple of mistakes because we knew.
Or even when you're going through a mistake, you understand that it's normal. Yeah. Things it just helps. Knowing obviously helps in 20 different ways. Yeah. So but
so that was the topic, right? Taking advice from those people who love you. Watch out.
Yeah. Especially starting out, I feel like that's huge because it can change your life. One advice can change your life. It's I'm going into this business, someone that you kind of respect tells you, no, this is terrible in my opinion, and you take that advice. That's your life kind of changed. You just took a different path in life. So it's really important to understand where the advice is coming from. Yeah. And protect your dreams as much as possible.
Especially if you're at the beginning. You haven't created anything. You haven't proven. No, you haven't even proven to yourself that you're capable.
That's why it's so easy to just fall off the path. Yeah. Before you even start, you just decide not to.
Because after you start, when you're 5 years in, we're in.
You're in. Yeah, you're dedicated.
I know. You're telling me, this is not going to work. Yeah. I know that the only reason it's not going to work is if we don't make it work. Yeah. Any type of business works. Any type of endeavor works.
It's the hardest for everything. Yeah. But
all right. So just watch out for people who love you. Those are the worst type of positive hate that you can have. Now the bad hater, when you say bad haters, I don't think there's such thing, because there's also those type of bad haters who they just want to talk shit about you. Yeah. But there's a reason they're talking shit about you. You probably haven't actually proven something. Yeah. And not even to yourself. So, but normally you don't listen to those people anyways.
Yeah.
So there's not much. The danger's not there. The danger when people say, "Oh, you gotta have some hate." No, you don't. Like, have some hate for what? Like you. It doesn't matter. If you have those hate, you're just gonna try to prove them wrong and messed up your work because you're gonna try to do it faster and get there faster to prove to somebody else, not to yourself. That's worse.
That's true.
That was a good combo, right?
No, yeah, for sure, yeah.
Thank you.
Did really well.
Thank you. See, I'm proud of
the
myself.
one person whose advice I think it's complete bullshit all the time is Andres. So whenever he talks,
I think you're just gonna end it here. You guys got it.
Baby talks, and I'm like, I'm gonna follow the advice of this baby. Andre said something.
I'm drinking some beer now.
It's true. He's gotten rid of the baby face.
Yeah, my baby face is gone. Maybe give it a week when it's actually.
Honestly, I think
better.
Keep it. Yeah. You look more mature. I listen to you a lot less, but you look more mature.
Have you been listening to my lonely podcast as well? I'm gonna have you do a lonely podcast.
It's depressing. I'm like, I don't want to do this, but I have to just to bring it up. It's like I add that extra 700%.
So this is a true example of what not to take advice from. So he was just giving you an example. All right, bro, but let's do it, man. We're getting the next podcast.
Yeah.
You guys that are listening to this on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, we're also recording a video. So if you type the same title on YouTube, unless you're on the video, we're everywhere. And thank you.
Yeah, follow us, give us a review. Only 5 stars accepted.
Yeah.